All right, let's dive into something that is just wild. We're going to look at an ancient Vedic text that talks about the birth of the universe. But here's the thing. It doesn't describe it as a simple myth. It describes it as a cosmic battle that sounds, and this is the crazy part, a lot like something you'd hear in a modern physics class.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? Could a hymn, written thousands and thousands of years ago, actually be a kind of blueprint for quantum physics? Well, that's the mind-bending idea at the center of a text called Vajra-like. It lays out a scientific commentary on these ancient verses. And trust me, the story it tells is absolutely epic. Okay, so every great story needs a hero. And in this cosmic drama, our heroes are the fundamental particles of light themselves, photons. But according to this interpretation, they don't just wander into the void unprepared. Oh no, they show up ready for a fight. They come with armor.
And what's really fascinating is the specific language the text gets into. It points to these two principles, Prayaja and Anuyaja, which are interpreted as these really subtle substances called Prana and Apana. And these two things together are said to form a protective sheath. Yeah, a kind of cosmic armor that literally wraps around each and every photon.
So just picture this. You've got the ray, the photon, but it's encased in this cosmic armor. And look, this is not just for looks. According to the text, this protective layer is absolutely crucial for the photon to even survive its journey through what was a hostile, primordial universe. Of course, where there's a hero, there has to be a villain. And the obstacle our cosmic warriors are up against is this primordial force of darkness, a kind of entity that is literally preventing all of creation from happening. I mean, try to wrap your head around that. A universe just held in place, unable to be born. The text paints a picture of this antagonist as this formless, violent, chaotic substance that just envelops everything, stopping particles from combining to form anything at all. And this force has a name, Vritra. It's defined as this unmanifested matter that's holding everything captive. And here is where things get really mind-blowing. The source's own scientific commentary draws a direct line, suggesting that this ancient concept could actually be an analogy for what modern science now calls dark matter or dark energy. So you've got the setup. Armored light on one side, this formless darkness on the other. You just know a showdown is coming. The text describes what has to happen next as a krura karma, which translates to a cruel act. It's this violent, destructive event that, in a huge paradox, is the only thing that can kickstart creation. The attack itself unfolds in 4 incredible steps. First, the armored photons close in on Vritra. Then, and this is the most important part, right before they hit, their armor weakens and they just cast it off. This is the whole key. By making themselves vulnerable, the rays are suddenly unburdened and become intensely, unbelievably sharp. And then, finally, they strike, piercing and completely shattering the dark matter. It's this stunning paradox. They had to lose their protection to unleash their real power. So, the battle is won. That cruel act is done. But what's left in the rubble of this massive cosmic explosion? Well, this is the exact moment that destruction finally paves the way for creation. And the outcome is absolute. The obstacle is just gone. Vritra, that force that was preventing anything from ever forming, has been smashed into pieces, totally powerless. The cosmic prison has been blown wide open. Now, with Vritra out of the picture, a brand new process can finally begin. The text calls it Sanghatikarana. This is literally the aggregation, the combining of different particles. It's the basic process of building a universe, piece by piece. And it was completely impossible until the second Vritra was destroyed. Okay, but hold on a second. After a blast that big, that violent, how does the universe not just collapse back into total chaos? How do you get harmony out of that? Well, the text explains that a second, much gentler force now has to enter the scene. This is where new himmaries come in. You can almost think of them as the cosmic peacekeepers. They show up right after the battle to calm down the intense energy from that initial attack. They spread all throughout the cosmos, guiding the shattered particles, making sure they can combine safely. They're the ones who ensure that Sanghatikarana, that building process, can actually keep going to create the stars, the galaxies, and, well, everything we see. You know, when you step back and look at this whole story, It's pretty much perfectly captured by this one ancient prayer. It is a journey from Vritra, the unmanifested darkness, all the way to a universe of structured light and matter and harmony. It's really the victory of creation over stagnation. Which brings us right back to where we started, with this one final thought. Is this all just a beautiful, poetic metaphor for creation? Or is it possible that hidden inside this ancient hymn is a kind of blueprint for the cosmos, a description of fundamental physics written in verse? What do you think?